Today's Saturday, it's the 28th of May 2022, and we've come down to Sant Telmo. Sant Telmo's in the southwest corner of the island. In fact, you go any further west and you end up with your feet in the sea, and eventually you'd hit that island out there, which is Dragonera. And it's a beautiful island. It's quite a big island, and there's a few kayakers who are heading off towards it, and there is usually a boat that goes across there every day to take day trippers. It's a nature reserve, so it is protected land. But we're going to have a little walk through Sant Telmo and admire the views. Just before we actually leave the island of Dragonera, which I've been to on several occasions, you can take a trip by a pleasure boat and pay your money. But I've actually done it by kayak as well. In the distance there's a couple of kayakers. But each year from Sant Telmo there's organised by a kayaking association a kayaking trip around Sant Telmo, and I did actually manage to do that one year with the Scouts.
When you were young and
when I was
fit.
young and fit. Well, I've never been fit, so when I was a bit younger. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun, and I had a little help on the way round because it was a two-man kayak. So what we're going to do now is, there's a lot more kayaks actually going out, I can see. So we're just going to walk up into the village of Sant Telmo. It is a really pretty village, and hopefully we'll be able to show you where the boats go from if you want to go to Dragonera. But we're going to walk up a little bit of a hill, so I'm just going to... If you're coming to Sant Telmo, Sant Telm, as it's on the signpost, you'll see that there's a car park immediately as you get into the village. So you come down the hill and immediately on the right there's a car park. There's actually two car parks there. I think one of them might be a municipal one, which could well be free. I don't know, I haven't investigated that, but the one that's really signposted and you're encouraged to go into is one that you have to pay. But there's lots and lots of street parking in Sant Telmo, and yeah, we just walk down the hill and right by the sea there's a parking space. I don't know how lucky you're going to be, but certainly around the back of the village there's plenty of parking. So we've gotten more views of the island there, the Dragonera. There's a boat going out. That looks as though it's taking people out. It's a little bit bumpy out there by the looks of things. And there's a group of 2, 4, 6 kayakers going out there as well. So it's quite a jaunt, it's quite a long drag to get round, but it's really spectacular. On the other side you've got vertical cliffs. Sant Telmo itself is a really pretty village, lots of cafes, restaurants, and Anita likes the shops, of course. It's a little bit hilly in parts, and
Nice bench here.
spotted a colourful bench, very nice. So yeah, getting around, do be aware there's lots of ups and downs here, and something I'd not really thought about. Somebody mentioned to me about being here in a wheelchair and the difficulty they had with the curbs. Curbs in Mallorca can be very, very high, so it can be quite difficult. But here's one of the restaurants, a very well-known restaurant and busy restaurant right on the headland here, which specialises in fishy things, which is what you'd expect coming from a port. It's only 11:45, so they're just all getting ready here. People just arriving. Lots of cyclists come here as well, so again, if you're driving, just be careful of the cyclists who are coming up and down the hills. So we're just coming now to the shopping street. No real beach here, but restaurants, and the beach, which is a very nice beach, actually, nice sandy beach, is at the other side of Sant Telmo.
this is where we had a coffee with Nick here.
Anita came here a few weeks ago with our family. Stopped there for a coffee. So this is the street. It's somewhat pedestrianised. Unfortunately, at the moment it's very sunny, not a lot of shade, but lots of sort of artisan type shops that Anita likes. She wanted to get me a Panama hat, but no, I'll stick to my leather hat. I like it. Everywhere's going to get busy as the day moves on, so we've come out early, trying to beat the crowds and beat the heat, because it is pretty warm. So if you're feeling really warm, here's Gelati Sant. Years ago, one of the things I did was make t-shirts, put embroideries onto t-shirts, and that was one of the companies we used to do. Let's see Ibiza. Anita, of course, is in her element, looking in these shops. Just over the past few days, I've been putting up lots of restaurant videos, and it has been asked before, but somebody said, do you ever eat at home? And yes, we do. We don't eat out all the time. We usually save that for weekends. There's one of these roads that goes down to the sea, beautiful views down there. And I can just about see someone swimming in the sea. Lots of little cafes, bars, you can stop for a drink. Now we've got hot chocolate. Well, I don't think I'll have a hot chocolate today, but they've got cakes as well. Anita and I, particularly I'm more of a savoury person than a cakey person. And I can imagine this place is going to get very busy in another hour or so. So good to get through here before that. And we do lots of tapas type entradas. Really cute little restaurants, cafes, bars. It is, it's got this sort of Ibiza sort of character to it. You know. Just like everywhere, you can get a pizza. The other thing about eating out in Spain is, yes, you can pay a lot of money to go out for a meal, but if you look, you can find very reasonable meals, and a lot of the ones I show you are 15 euros a head or less, and they're called the Menu del Dia. It's something you have in the middle of the day. It's a menu that's actually designed for workers, so workers who are builders or whatever, so they can go and get a reasonably priced meal, and they're normally 3 courses, and they include bread and water, and usually at least a glass or maybe even a half a bottle or more of wine. So I don't know how the workers managed to go back to work after that, but that's something that was brought in, I think, during the Franco period. It was one of the legacies of his rule over Spain, and one that's carried on and is really appreciated. There's some fantastic Menu del Dias, but not every restaurant does them. So So this is actually the beach, the playa of Sant Telmo, Sant Telm. Notice I call it Sant Telmo with an O on the end. None of your signs now, I don't think, will actually say Sant Telmo. They'll all say Sant Elm. So they put the T with the San, and it's the same place. It's just that one is the Catalan spelling, which is Sant Elm, and Sant Telmo is the Spanish spelling. But there is a move on the island now to Catalanize, if that's a word, to make things more Catalan, and so some of the older spellings are gradually disappearing. But I've always called it Sant Telmo. So if you would like to have a coffee, I'm all for a coffee. Yeah, over there. Find a shady spot. I just had a really nice coffee at the Bodega Playa. It's been there since 1964. So we're just going to have a little walk around the beach here. Lovely sandy beach. There's a lifeguard on duty, and there's actually two lifeguards on duty, and there's a green flag. So it's telling you that it's safe to swim. It looks pretty calm. Some little waves in there. Lots and lots of people in the sea. And lots of people sunbathing on the beach too. Can you imagine I see a UV. Usually across the road there's a light which shines up about how dangerous the UV is at the moment, and I'm guessing it's pretty high. It's clear blue skies. So I mentioned earlier on about the car parks. This is the one which most people will automatically park in, and it costs you €4. Just however long you're there, it's a €4 tax. So that's actually not too bad. So Anita's bought yet another lottery ticket.
€4 to park.
So that's €4, but there's a blue sign down there. You just look to the left, so instantly you come down the hill. There's another much more tricky turn, and my guess is that's a free car park, and it will actually run parallel to the one you pay. I've only ever actually been in the one you pay. It's where we used to start doing the kayak races from, so we used to park there with the kayaks and carry them across the road to the sea. And that's where we would start our walk. So this morning we intended to go to the car boot sale in Santa Ponsa, in the Son Borgadillas industrial estate, and we drove there and there were no stalls, so really curious. And I don't know why that is. I've just been onto the Calvia website and it just says closed at the moment, but there's no real indication of why it's closed at the moment. So I was a little bit confused there.
How do you get down here?
I think we've got to go down to the beach. So what they're doing here is they're laying on an area which is for disabled people, so that disabled people can have access, like me, access to the sea. So we've got a place here, and then there's a shade in the sun, which will, so they can actually sit there, and then they usually provide some wheeled vehicle that helps people to get into the water. This actually is a little bit of Sant Telmo. I've never actually walked around this side. We always concentrated on the Dragonera side, but a little bit of a sort of a concrete area here, which will give us a different view of the beach anyway.
Sand out tonight.
There's another viewing platform here for a lifeguard. Another green flag, and sunbeds. whether these are associated with the hotel that's just behind. Someone again was talking to me, wrote to me about is the water as clear in the south of the island as it is in Alcudia or Poyensa, and it's a little bit choppy today, but just look how clear that water is. It is absolutely crystal clear, perfect for snorkeling, perfect for swimming. So here we are in Sant Telmo. I'm just going to walk a little bit further around. I need to getting the sand out of her shoe. And I'm just enjoying the views. So looking at Dragonair, and there's another little island there. It's a bit far for a swim, but people are going there on kayaks and paddle boards, stand-up paddle boards. Become a very popular sport here in Mallorca. People have these inflatable stand-up paddle boards, and you stand up and paddle your way along. I'm sure I'd just fall in. Emmy's just still getting the sand off her shoes. Little does she know that she's going to walk back this way and go back into the sand again. So, not going to help. So you can see the yellow buoys, which are marking off areas where swimmers can swim safely and where the boats are not allowed to transgress. So there's a channel here where people can launch their boats into the water. At either side there's really big swimming areas. A lot of people in the sea already, and it isn't even June, so fantastic. Out in the distance, lots of boats moored around here. It's a favourite place for people to come to. I guess if you're from Andrach, which is just around the headland there, so if your boat's normally moored there, it's a great place to come, nicely sheltered by both Dragonair and the little island there. But out into the distance I can see there's a bigger ship, which is one of the ferries, I think, that goes to the mainland, just setting sail. And looking in the newspaper today, online, the Mallorca Daily Bulletin, which is now the Mallorca Bulletin, they do have lists of all of the ships that are in port on a particular day, and you can see which of the big ships are in, and it tells you how big they are, the gross tonnage, and the length of them. And just looking down the list, there's a lot of big boats due in today, adding to that haze of pollution that hangs near to the city. I'm just going to walk a little bit further around. And there's another little bay, a much smaller one, which is, okay, it's another sandy beach, but much smaller than the one which is just behind, which is the main beach of Sant Telmo. And this one's actually got quite a lot of seaweed on the beach, which, I don't know, maybe I would have expected them to clear it away. There are some posts over in the distance for sun umbrellas, but there's no umbrellas actually on them, there's no beds out yet. So those are things that I've got to get ready for the summer. So I'll go back and see if I can find Anita. And she can get some more sand in her shoes. Have you got the sand out of your shoes, dear? Have you got, just another little beach, but whichever way we go, we've got to walk through the sand again, so you're going to get some sand back in your shoes.
Carry me.
As you can see, this is May, and the beach is quite crowded here. it does get very busy down in Sant Telmo. I suppose if you want to, you could walk up,
Yeah, let's go this way.
walk up here and walk through the hotel.
Sanding machine.
Just do anything for you, dear, so you don't get sand in your shoes. Gives us that elevated position as well, so we can look down a little bit. This actually wouldn't have been a bad spot to have had a coffee, but we've just done the coffees. So this is actually the Universal Hotel Aqua Marine, which is right on the beach in Sant Telmo, or Sant Telmo. Today, of course, is Saturday, so you will also get quite a lot of families from the surrounding areas who will be coming to Sant Telmo to spend the day on the beach, bring their picnics. So it's not all holiday makers. A lot of locals will be coming here too, because it's a really pretty area, really pretty beach, and one that we come to from time to time. Here are the stand-up paddle boards here that you can hire. Go out. Looks like fun.
There's a nice breeze.
There is a very nice breeze. I don't know how that's affecting the sand. There is a really nice breeze. So when we drove into Sant Telmo, we drove past these car parks, and at this little sort of roundabout here, you take a right, and there's a road that runs parallel to the street, which has got the cafes and shops and bars, and there's always lots of parking down there. You can go a fair distance along there, but it doesn't take you anywhere. It's you have to come back along that. So we will, when we come back, we'll be coming back round there. Just putting the brolly up. So this is Blackjack. So playa is Spanish, Blackjack is the Mallorquin Catalan. And it gives you a bit of an explanation of what the flags mean. So if it's a red flag, swimming is forbidden, yellow is it's dangerous, and green means it's allowed. If there's an orange one up there, it means there's no lifeguard. And one of the things we do get around Mallorca from time to time is jellyfish, and they've actually got a flag for jellyfish as well. Well, we're going to make our way back through the village, the town of Sant Telmo, and I think that there's no point videoing it again. You can have a look at the video before. So thanks very much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. So bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.